to our correspondent Ranjita now, who is joining us live from Charanjit Singh Channi's residence. Ranjita, अभी हमने आप कैंप की तस्वीरें और वहां से कुछ वॉइसेस अपने दर्शकों को सुनाई और पहुंचाई, मगर जाहिर सी बात है कांग्रेस की अगर बात किया जाए और उनके कैंप की बात किया जाए तो मूड बहुत ही ज़्यादा इस समय उदासी भरा होगा। अभी हमने दर्शकों को ये भी बताया था कि किस तरीके से पंजाब कांग्रेस के जो प्रमुख हैं नवजोत सिंह सिद्धू, उन्होंने ट्वीट किया और उन्होंने आम आदमी पार्टी को शुभकामनाएं भी दी। मगर बड़ी बात यह है कि शुभकामनाएं तो दे दी, हार भी मान ली, मगर हार की जिम्मेदारी अब कौन लेगा?
निश्चित तौर पर बड़ा सवाल यही है, लेकिन तस्वीरें मैं आपको दिखाऊंगी। एक तरफ आम आदमी पार्टी के दफ्तर के बाहर जश्न का माहौल और मुख्यमंत्री के आवास के बाहर सन्नाटा, इंतजार इस बात का कि मुख्यमंत्री कब निकलेंगे और राज्यपाल को अपना इस्तीफा देंगे। सबसे बड़ा सवाल कि कांग्रेस की इस हार के लिए जिम्मेदार कौन, क्योंकि जिम्मेदारी लेने के लिए कांग्रेस पार्टी का कोई नेता सामने नहीं आ रहा है। जिन दो ऑब्जर्वर्स को कांग्रेस ने लगाया था वो दिल्ली की तरफ रुख कर चुके हैं और जो प्रभारी है वो अभी कुछ देर पहले मुख्यमंत्री से मुलाकात की और उसके बाद जब मीडिया किया तो उन्होंने ये जरूर कहा जिम्मेदारी लेता हूं, लेकिन इस्तीफे का जब सवाल किया गया तो उन्होंने साफ तौर पर कहा कि इस्तीफा लेना या देना ये पार्टी का अंदरूनी मामला है, ये हम मीडिया में आकर नहीं कहते। अब सबसे बड़ा सवाल ये उठ रहा है कि आखिर कांग्रेस को इस हार का सामना क्यों करना पड़ा। कैप्टन को पार्टी से निकालकर कांग्रेस को ये लग रहा था कि इस बार विधानसभा चुनाव में कांग्रेस की जीत होगी, लेकिन अंदरूनी लड़ाई कांग्रेस की दिखी, चाहे वो चरणजीत सिंह सिद्धू के बीच, सरकार या संगठन के बीच, कार्यकर्ता और नेता के बीच। ये तमाम जो लड़ाइयां हैं वो नतीजों के जरिए कांग्रेस को दिखी है और कांग्रेस के नेता अब एक एक कर अपने ही नेताओं के खिलाफ मोर्चा खोलते नजर आ रहे हैं। जसबीर गिल डिम्पा जो खडूर साहब से सांसद हैं, उन्होंने अभी कुछ देर पहले सीरीज ऑफ ट्वीट किया है और उसमें नेताओं पर आरोप लगा रहे हैं कि किस तरह से पैसा लेकर टिकट बांटा गया, कार्यकर्ताओं का अपमान किया कांग्रेस पार्टी ने। और सबसे बड़ी बात कि जिस तरह से ग्राउंड पे एक नाराजगी थी मंत्रियों के खिलाफ, उस बात को कांग्रेस लीडरशिप नहीं समझ पाई। इन तमाम चीजों की वजह से कांग्रेस की ये हार हुई है, लेकिन देखना होगा कि इस हार का असर बॉर्डर स्टेट हिमाचल, जहां इसी साल अंत में चुनाव होना है, वहां कितना पड़ता है, बॉर्डर स्टेट हरियाणा, वहां क्या असर पड़ता है, और कांग्रेस इस हार से सबक लेती है या हमेशा की तरह कांग्रेस मंथन के दौर करते करते अपनी जो राजनीतिक पारी है वो इसी तरह से गंवाती चली जाएगी।
जी बिल्कुल, कांग्रेस के लिए इंट्रोस्पेक्शन का टाइम है, आत्ममंथन का टाइम है। थैंक यू रंजीता फॉर गेटिंग अस ऑल दोस डिटेल्स फ्रॉम द कांग्रेस कैंप. In fact, let me go across to our Mumbai newsroom now. Tanima Biswas is joining us live with more insights and more details as to what is the situation like in Punjab. Over to you, Tanima.
That's right, Gauri. In fact, we have heard the voices from the ground there, the reporters there, of course, talking about the mood on the ground, but also let's just step back for a minute and look at the larger picture if we can. So while we're talking about Punjab, let's look at what are the main analysis. But first, we want to start for our viewers with an overall map of the situation. The blue region that you can see is where Aam Aadmi Party is dominating. So as we have in fact been saying that it's almost a clean sweep. That's a terminology, of course, playing a pun on Aam Aadmi Party's election symbol of the broom. So you can see it's almost a clean sweep of Punjab there in the map, that Aam Aadmi Party's dominance in almost 80% of the areas right now that this particular map is showing. If we also look at further breakups, just to again bring in more insights into this, so these are broadly three regions that we are looking at the Doaba region, Majha and Malwa region. And over here you can see it's Aam Aadmi Party which has in fact dominated with 65 in Malwa, which is the larger region. These are the main trends that we are looking at. 16 in the Majha region and again 10 in the Doaba region. So only probably in the Doaba region Congress and Aam Aadmi Party are almost neck to neck, but other than that clearly dominated by AAP over here. Let's also look at further insights that we have for our viewers. The larger point over here, both in the Malwa region and in the Majha region, that you can see that it's the AAP which is dominating. It's only in the Doaba region again showing a breakup. BJP plus barely having a presence over here. But essentially, it's the Aam Aadmi Party which has again largely dominated in this breakup as well. And if we look at further clusters which are operating, if we look at the urban clusters, so to speak, over here, if we go looking at the urban areas as well, it's Aam Aadmi Party again dominating with, the larger chunk of the urban areas, 20 seats where they're leading at the moment. Congress only in 3 and the BJP plus only in 1. So the larger chunk of the urban areas also with the Aam Aadmi Party there as far as Punjab is concerned. Gauri.
Right, Tanima, thank you so much for getting us all those details and all those insights as far as Punjab's situation is concerned. In fact, I'm also now being joined by a very special panel to discuss in detail what exactly happened in Punjab. In fact, Neeti Jain, BJP spokesperson, is joining us. Kapil Madan, political analyst, is also with us. In fact, Kush Ambedkar, political analyst, is with us, and Bhai Baldeep, political analyst, Tausif Ahmed, political analyst, and also Siddharth Sharma from the Aam Aadmi Party is also going to join us in just a bit. But let me go across and take the reaction of Bharatiya Janata Party. What exactly happened there? Neeti Jain, what is your first reaction on these results, these numbers that we are seeing from Punjab? Why exactly that much talked about pre-poll pact with Captain Amrinder Singh failed to yield any kind of results for the Bharatiya Janata Party?
So you know that BJP was always with the Shiromani Akali Dal in Punjab, and I don't think anybody in our party or any spokesperson said that we are going to form a government there. The BJP has, in my knowledge, we have managed to increase our vote share in Punjab, and for that we thank the people. And the mandate has been given. We congratulate the party that has won, and we wish them the best ahead. But why things did not work out was it was a very, Punjab election was a very chaotic election, primarily because of the Congress party and whatever was happening within themselves. And it became a very partisan kind of, a very divided sort of an election. But irrespective of that, I think as BJP, we're thankful to the people for helping us expand our hold in Punjab. And that is that.
Okay, Neeti Jain, thank you for that reaction. I'll come back to you for more insights on BJP's performance. But also let me go across to Tausif Ahmed, the political analyst, joining us live. And also we are focusing on these big numbers that we are witnessing from Punjab, where AAP is looking at a landslide victory as we speak. They are leading on 91 seats. In fact, if we talk about Congress, they are way behind, just having a lead on 17 seats. Let me go to Tausif Ahmed. Tausif, thank you so much for taking the time out. First of all, your reaction and your analysis as far as these numbers are concerned.
No, we all had a fair idea that Punjab is going to give a different result because of the farmer protest and the anger that people had shown towards the central government of BJP, and but Congress would bring a result not so it was not so expected. In fact, we heard some of the Aam Aadmi Party leaders say that they also did not expect such a landslide victory. But this is the mandate of the people, and we all have to accept that. And so far the other states are concerned, we are seeing the trend of BJP going downwards in Uttar Pradesh, and in Goa or in other states, they do not have a very clear mandate. Yes, they are the largest party, in terms of the seats that they have won. And they would need in some states support of 2 or 3 more seats. Like there has to be a coalition, on top of NDA, they have to bring someone in, invite new partners. But if you look at Uttar Pradesh, Samajwadi Party has performed very well, and it was all expected. From 47, they have gone around 100 something, close to 120. So it's a good performance from Samajwadi Party. There we have seen BSP did not perform as expected. Congress has been on a complete downside, and it was really expected. Lack of leadership, lack of coordination. We all have noticed all that. Even during the election campaign, there was this fire missing in them. For the name's sake, the election campaign was going on. So, there's no surprises from the results that we are seeing today.
Right, Tausif Ahmed, yeah, you are making a very, very pertinent point that it is something which was being expected from the state of Punjab. Let me go across and take this point across to Bhai Baldeep, also political analyst, joining us on this discussion. Bhai Baldeep, just taking that point forward, everybody was actually expecting a wind of change of sort in the state of Punjab before these elections. But such a thumping win for Aam Aadmi Party, was that expected? And also, what were the big factors that actually worked for Aam Aadmi Party this time around? Right, Bhai Baldeep, in fact, if my voice is going through, if you can just unmute yourself.
Yes,
Yeah.
I can hear you now.
Yes.
Yes, I was muted. Yeah. By myself, of course, not by the channel. Normally, there are some places which do love to mute the guests, but it was me only. The point is that about Kisan Morcha, there's been a mention. It is, we need to look at it a little bit closely. Captain Amrinder Singh was the only leader who somehow was able to gain a lot of affection by the way he supported everybody at the, at the Punjab-Shambhu border and beyond. Congress lost the initiative the way the kind of tirade that went in. Everybody wanted to be a CM, right? Something we had seen in the Aam Aadmi Party 6-7 years ago when there were everybody in the Aam Aadmi Party from 2014 till 2017 wanted to be the CM. They catwalked in Delhi, and I know it from close. Congress had the same, it was plagued with the same problem. So Kisan Morcha's impact, in fact, was nullified. Look at the Kisan Morcha leaders. Look at Rajewal's abysmal, the kind of, they thought that they, the success of the Kisan Morcha brought a new kind of political ego or an ego. And there were many people who thought that it could translate into some political traction, a vital political gain. That was one negative that didn't work. There were a few other negatives that were, being stamped on Aam Aadmi Party. One of the big ones was Professor Bhullar's release. Where is that effect? Aam Aadmi Party's controversial stand on Punjab waters. Where is that impact? I mean, you don't, get accused of such big, these kind of accusations and still come up with leading 91 at about, 1:30 p.m. A non-Punjabi face about Kejriwal, that he's a non-Punjabi, that he's the one who's going to proxy rule, etc. That was thrown out by the people. The fact that the Delhi's puppeteering threat, that they're going to be the puppeteers and the puppets alone in Punjab, would dance at their tune. That didn't work. That it is a non-regional party, that these are the outsiders. That has not worked. Deep Siddhu's, I was actually unsure about the impact. I saw that there were certain villages where 80 to 90 votes or 1,000 were shifting from AAP towards the Deep Siddhu's, preferred Simranjit Singh Mann's outfit. But then I learned until yesterday, day before my research is brought in, that shift was something similar from all other parties. So that had no effect in his campaign against Aam Aadmi Party. Deep Siddhu's ridicule of the party symbol Jhadu, against which I had actually objected, that has not worked either. The Kisan Morcha, the stepmotherly treatment of the Kisan Morcha participant, that was an accusation, a stereotype that was somehow rubbed onto the Aam Aadmi Party by their opponents in Punjab. These are some of the negatives that were expected to affect Aam Aadmi Party's Bharat. It has had no impact. And what is a positive, as I see, its capability to maintain focus on its political rhetoric. That for me is noteworthy. They were unperturbed, unfazed. They continued to hammer on the mafia, the sand mafia, the drug mafia. They emphasized the idea that they are going to bring, eradication. They're going to eradicate the entire idea of VIP culture. They spoke of employment, the basics. The promise to reform the healthcare sector and education, their sort of lack thereof in Delhi Congress tried and others tried giving up numbers. They are claiming this with the Nukkad clinics and all that, Mohalla clinics. They're not working. None of them worked. This, I think, is a failure of the Indian National Congress by the kind of infighting they've had. They were the only ones who could have had at least a reasonable sort of a fight to Aam Aadmi Party. We were mostly expecting a hung assembly. Maybe Aam Aadmi Party is about 40-50. Congress may be having about 35-40. But I guess people have given a total mandate, an extraordinary mandate, 3/4. Wow. What BJP got in the center, Punjab has been granted, I think, for the first time in an election which has not been boycotted by any of the outfits. So my compliments really to Arvind for his leadership, to Bhagwant, Mann for now being the chief minister, the incoming chief minister, and Raghav Chadha. I remember me, Raghav Chadha, Dilip Pandey, when we were all trying to convince Rabi Shergill, one of my former students, to fight from Amritsar. I remember those. Today I'm remembering all those wonderful moments. And of course, our later fights when I tried to keep the party together. It's an extra. Raghav has led from the front. Jarnail Singh, I congratulated him moments ago. He's a man of extraordinary humility. He's not, what Arvind would say during the IAC, India Against Corruption days, that, whenever somebody gains power, there's something that happens. But Jarnail Singh has been one of them who never tried to overstep his bounds. He never tried to spread in, tried to pretend as if being a Sikh, he should be the natural nominee instead. His humility, I think, is something very, very important, which Aam Aadmi Party missed out in 2017. Any Sikh leader coming from Delhi, some of them are not amongst us because of the COVID. A couple of people died. I don't want to take the name, and my prayers for the departed souls. But there was a tendency that people trying to come in from Delhi, some of the Sikh leaders, they tried. Everybody clamored that I am going to make the CM better CM. I deserve better. This, I think, was that noise which had plagued Aam Aadmi Party the last time. My compliments and kudos to Jarnail Singh for his leadership. He's the one who led from front. These are some of the thoughts that come to my mind.